I was in another place, and I saw things happen to Aaron and saw things happen to all these people, and I couldn't do anything because I was someplace else. I couldn't help you. That in itself is what makes it hard because I wanted to go in there and scoop up. But you guys weren't even 18 years old. You couldn't escape.
It got bad when I was about 15 years old.
When Aaron Carter died in 2022, most people thought it was just another tragic celebrity overdose. But his brother, he's saying there's more to the story. And the name that keeps getting whispered behind the scenes is Diddy. Now, Nick Carter's speaking out in the documentary Fallen Idols, Nick and Aaron Carter, and what he's hinting at has the internet in flames. Was Aaron running from something or someone? Because in the days leading up to his death, Aaron wasn't acting like someone who was spiraling. He was acting like someone who was being hunted.
ET has new details about Aaron Carter's final days as his loved ones and fans mourn the singer's shocking death.
Yeah, I just, my heart goes out to his family. Yeah, just a lot of love there.
Aaron died on Saturday, and we've now learned that the night before, he missed a therapy appointment.
I love making music. It's definitely my happy place.
In his last live streams, Aaron talked about secret files being followed and the need to get his story out. One source even claims he was sitting on something massive, a file tied to a dark Hollywood network insiders call the Pollywood PDF.
Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old.
And that's where Diddy's name starts showing up. Because in 2024, the hip-hop mogul was indicted for sex trafficking and racketeering charges, the same kind of patterns that Aaron had warned his fans about before his death. Aaron's family says they never got a clear answer. And Nick, he's not done asking. Old photos don't lie. Shortly after Aaron Carter's death, resurfaced pictures of him and Diddy started circulating online, and people were quick to ask, what was Aaron doing with Diddy in the first place? These weren't industry red carpet shots. They looked like party scenes, behind closed doors, off the books. That's when conspiracy theories started to take shape. And then Kanye West jumped in. Ye came out publicly accusing Hollywood trainer Harley Pasternak of drugging celebrities into silence. He said Aaron's death wasn't an accident. He even suggested people were being reprogrammed. Now here's where things go from strange to terrifying. Insiders claim Aaron was about to drop real bombshells about Diddy. Not just rumors, but files tied to the so-called Pollywood PDF ring, a term used online to describe an alleged Hollywood blackmail and trafficking network. He hinted at it in live streams. He told fans he had secrets, and then he was gone. The whispers didn't stop there. According to rumor, Aaron believed someone was trying to poison him. And now, with Diddy under federal investigation for sex trafficking and racketeering, people are asking, was Aaron silenced before he could talk? Cassie Ventura's lawsuit backs this theory up. In her testimony, she described Diddy forcing her into freak-offs, manipulating her into silence, and controlling her movements like she was property.
Day 2 of dramatic testimony in the federal racketeering and trafficking case of hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs. Singer Cassie Ventura back on the witness stand testifying against her ex-boyfriend. An 8 months pregnant Ventura described her decade-long relationship with Combs. She says was plagued by jealousy, violence, and, quote, humiliating sex. Telling the jury about so-called freak-offs, saying she felt like she had no choice but to participate in those drug-fueled marathons that often lasted for days. If she refused to participate, she testified she feared making Combs angry. A prosecutor asking, what did Sean do when he was angry? Ventura responding, he would be violent with me.
And when Diddy was finally asked about all this in court, he gave a 4-word statement. It wasn't my fault. That's not an answer. That's a warning shot. By the time Aaron Carter's body was found, it was already too late. But now, after digging into the official investigation, fans, and even family, are starting to say what nobody wanted to hear out loud. Something doesn't add up. Let's start with the initial police report. It claimed Aaron drowned in his bathtub, but said nothing about the multiple substances found in his system, or the fact that trained medical neighbors were literally blocked from entering the house. Let that sink in. 2 neighbors, medically trained, ready to help, standing outside Aaron's door, and security said no. Then came the official cause of death, accidental drowning with difluorothane and alprazolam, also known as Xanax, in his system.
Of the report, you can see the cause of death was drowning as a result of the effects of two different types of substances. The first one being basically compressed air or canned air that is often used as recreational to huff. It gives you a euphoric feeling. The second one is a benzo, commonly Xanax, things, a type of drug like that. So the coroner's report says that the pop star Aaron Carter consumed both of those, became unconscious in his bathtub.
But if this was just an accident, why did Aaron's fiancée, Melanie Martin, show up with moving trucks on the same day? That's not speculation, that's confirmed. Some fans believe it was planned. Others think she knew something was going to happen and got there first. Now, Melanie's filed a wrongful lawsuit against doctors and pharmacies, claiming they negligently fueled Aaron's addiction. But that doesn't explain everything. It doesn't explain why Aaron was so paranoid in his final videos, why he talked about being followed, why his home was remodeled and flipped right after he died, removing any trace of what really happened. The facts don't line up. The timeline feels manipulated, and the more people look, the more they see one name circling in the shadows: Diddy. Right before Aaron Carter passed, he sent out one final message. Not to his fans, not to his family, to Kanye West. "Yo, Kanye, let's talk man to man." At the time, it felt random. But now, with everything coming out about Diddy, Harley Pasternak, and the Pollywood rumors, it feels like a cry for help. Aaron wasn't just spiraling, he was signaling. And now his brother, Nick Carter, is speaking out too. In the Fallen Idols docuseries, Nick questions everything about how Aaron's final days were handled, from the silence around his death to the people who had access to him in the end. Nick says things didn't add up, that the family still doesn't have closure, and that the people around Aaron were keeping secrets. One of those people, their own mother. In a shocking reveal, close friends of the Carters say Jane Carter actively created chaos between her sons, turning them against each other and muddying the waters around what Aaron might have really known. And while the internet debates theory versus fact, one thing remains clear: Diddy's name keeps coming up. With new investigations into trafficking, cover-ups, and blackmail networks, it's no longer just about what happened to Aaron. It's about what Aaron was about to expose. And if the feds are still digging, there might be more names, more files, and more receipts. So now we're left staring at one hard question. Did Aaron Carter really just overdose? Or was he silenced? Because the deeper you look, the less accidental it all feels. But if Aaron's family keeps pushing, and if the feds keep digging, we might not be far from the truth. So what do you think happened? Was Aaron Carter just another celebrity tragedy? Or the first warning sign of something way darker? I would like to know what you think about this. Subscribe and stay locked in. Because, trust, this story isn't over.